the Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 and the Samsung Galaxy Watch 8 Classic. Both of these promise really big upgrades, AI smarts, and plenty of different health features. But which one is actually worth your money? Let's go ahead and find out. What's up, s'mores? I'm Shannon Morse, and today we are talking about not one, but two brand new smartwatches from Samsung. This one here was provided by Samsung for my review, and this one was actually purchased by my husband, and I stole it from him for this video. So thank you, Mr. Snubs, for providing your watch. As with all of my reviews, brands get no editorial control. So let's go ahead and get started with the Watch 8, which starts at $349.99. It's currently $50 off before trade-ins too. Now you can choose between a couple of different sizes. There's a 40mm version, which is the one I have. There's also a 44mm version. And these come in graphite or silver, so I have the silver edition. And you can get these with a few different bands. There's the sport band like this one, the fabric band, athleisure, or hybrid. Mine is rocking the basic white sport band in small and medium. If you want LTE, sorry, mine's a little bit dirty here, you can leave your phone behind if you purchase the LTE watch, but that one is going to be an extra $50. Then we have the Watch 8 Classic, and yes, I do have the same watch face on both of these to compare them. This one is $499.99, but it's also $50 off right now before trade-ins. This one comes in one size, it's only 46mm, and you can also get this in black or white with the same band options. Now, the Watch 8 is going to be slimmer, it's also lighter, it's also much smaller. You can tell from the side angle right here. And I found the Watch 8 to be super, super comfortable to wear. Honestly, I almost forget that I have it on usually. At just 30 grams, which is a little bit over 1 ounce, it's very, very lightweight and just 8.6mm thick. It is perfect for smaller wrists like mine. By the way, a couple of people asked, and I have a 6-inch wrist circumference. So I'm not even kidding when I say that I have tiny wrists. I really do. I have like child-sized wrists. The Watch 8 Classic, on the other hand, is chunkier. It's 63.5 grams. That's about 2¼ ounces, and it's over 10mm thick. It's definitely bigger, and you really feel this one on your wrist, especially side by side. There's a noticeable weight difference, but you also get that really nice rotating bezel, which is really cool to mess with. And oh my gosh, it's so satisfying. It has a nice little satisfying quiet click. Ooh, I love it. Now, one con, Samsung did switch to a new proprietary band connector, which is because of this new housing that goes around the actual watch interface. I'm not entirely thrilled about that, but you can grab an adapter off of Amazon and still use your favorite 22mm watch bands. Now, both of these watches share the same Super AMOLED display, and it's a 438 by 438 display. So even though the Classic is a lot bigger in terms of housing, the actual watch interface and the face is the same exact size as the smaller Watch 8 regular edition. Trying to keep the names straight here. So both of them have that AMOLED display, both of them have the 438 by 438 resolution, and both of them have the same brightness. So you have the same rich colors, smooth animations, really great outdoor visibility as well. Even though they share that same exact display, the Classic does look a lot bigger because it has that larger housing for the display, which not only gives you that rotating bezel, but it also has that clock dial around the edges. You can see the numbers here. Design-wise, that dial does not really do anything for me, and it kind of just takes up space, given that we also have so many clock interfaces that you can choose from. So you can have like a digital readout like I currently have, or they also have the versions that have the hands and the numbers already on the face. So I think they could have maybe saved some space on the bezel and removed these numbers and maybe expanded the screen a little bit, but I don't know, that's just me being nitpicky. Personally, I find the display to be plenty big on both of these. It's really easy to interact with. I'm sure that some folks out there would prefer something bigger, but this is about as big as I will go on a watch, so it doesn't look like it's swallowing my arm. Now, if you find this video helpful, a subscribe would mean so much to me. Subscribing is a really, really simple way of showing me which videos you find helpful and valuable, and it shows me which direction I should be taking my channel in. Also, a huge Patreon shout out to all my newest patrons. You can join them and support my channel by going over to patreon.com/Shannon Morse for perks like early video access and my private Discord. As usual, all the videos on my channel are free to watch, and I thank my YouTube members and my s'mores, my patrons, for making that possible. Now, both of these watches are powered by the same operating system, so you have Samsung's Wear OS with Galaxy AI baked in. They're also running on a pentacore CPU with 2 gigs of RAM. If you're worried about storage, I would recommend going with the Classic, because the Classic doubles the storage to 64 gigs, or about 49 gigs of usable storage, while the regular 8 gives you 32 gigs, which is about 20 gigs of usable storage after the operating system space. Now that's plenty for music and for applications and watch faces if you want to install a whole bunch of different ones, but if you want a little bit more offline storage, the Classic definitely has a bit more of an edge. In my experience using these for pretty much the entirety of July, I felt like the watches feel really snappy. They both have Google Gemini built in, which is also very, very useful. You can hold down the button on either of these, the top button, and you can do the same on the Classic to open Gemini. So either one has the same interface. You can hold down on that button, you can ask it for info, for reminders, or even help with your schedule. In my testing, Gemini works really well, but as with all AI, results are gonna vary depending on what you ask it. I do think that the Classic is just a little bit faster than the regular one, but they're honestly so similar when it comes to processing that it's really only noticeable whenever you have these side by side. And I have to say that most people are probably not gonna be wearing 2 watches at the same time, so you're not going to really notice a speed difference. Speaking on that operating system, both of these include Samsung's Health Suite. So this is the Health Suite. This is a whole bunch of different tiles that I installed, and there are actually some new features included. So you still have sleep coaching with advanced insights included, and that features things like the sleep apnea tracker, very useful. There's also a brand new running coach, and this gives you real-time performance feedback. Now this is new, and it allows you to use the watch as a personal coach. I did try this, and it set me at level 1, which was no surprise since I rarely do more than just walking. I hate running, no thank you. But it was cool to see how it verbally talks you through the run, and it helps you set the pace correctly as you go. So if you're wearing this out like on a run and you're trying to figure out what your performance would be at, it's going to verbally tell you this is when you need to start running, now you can slow down, and it's going to do that based on like your heart rate and how fast you feel comfortable with, etc, etc. So if you have a more advanced running system and you're very, very professional with it, it's going to set you at a higher scale than it did with me, because I was like, I just want to walk. There's also this really cool thing called Vascular Load tracking, or stress on your heart and blood system. This test requires you to wear it for multiple nights in a row to get a really good baseline, but it will give you a nice readout in the app once you do that. We have the energy score with Galaxy AI. That's actually not new and something I've been testing with the Ring as well. It's not new, but it's still pretty cool to track on your daily energy levels. I certainly see a difference based on how restful my sleep is, and it's nice to see that information in a database. Antioxidant tracking and an AGE index. Now these are both new. The antioxidant tracking requires you to take off the watch and put your thumb firmly against the back sensor, and it works the same on either of these watches. So you put your finger, your thumb, on the back on the sensor, and you hold it there while it tracks your antioxidant index levels. So are you eating enough fruits and veggies? You can check it and it will let you know how high your antioxidant index levels are. I definitely do not eat enough fruits and veggies. Mine is very, very low. The AGE index gives you an idea of your metabolic health and how that compares to your actual age. And then we have your standard sensors, like there's an accelerometer, there's ECG, which is awesome. There's the heart rate, SpO2, barometer, and there's also a few other sensors built in as well. Now my battery life life on both of these was pretty much as expected on either or. First, we have the Watch 8. This one has a 325 milliampere hour battery. I was consistently getting around 30 to 40 hours depending on the always on display. If you turn it off, you get more hours. If you turn it on, you're going to get less hours. With the Watch 8 Classic, it's a 445 milliampere hour battery. In my test, I went from 100% at noon on August 13th to 8% at noon on August 15th, which tells me that it's going to last me nearly 2 full days. And it did continue to last on almost exactly 2-day increments with daily average usage throughout the couple of weeks that I was using it. Charging is going to be a little bit faster on the regular Watch 8. About 30 minutes is going to get you up to 40%, a full charge in about 80. And the Watch 8 Classic takes ever so slightly longer because it does have that bigger battery. Now, surprisingly, you probably think that I would say I would just wear the Watch 8 regular because it's more light. I really liked wearing the Watch 8 Classic too, even though it's slightly bigger. The height and the weight does bug me a little bit, especially if I'm trying to put on something with cuffs, like it gets caught on that all the time. But I just love the rotating bezel and the slightly longer battery life, very useful. Though I would say for comfort, I would lean towards the Watch 8 regular because it is a more comfier feel. It's lighter weight. I barely even feel like it's there. So should you buy one? So the Watch 8 would be best if you want a watch that is sleek, it's sporty, it has all the health and AI smarts that you would want, but it also comes in at a much lower price point. But if you want that rotating bezel, you want some more storage, you don't mind a bit bulkier of a feel, maybe you have bigger wrists than I do, the Galaxy Watch 8 Classic is worth the splurge. I think you would be happy with either of them. I think both of them work really, really well for watches, and they're both pretty comfortable. I don't usually get to compare watches side by side when they come out. I usually just have one to compare with. So I'm glad that my husband decided to buy this one because it's really cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it here so that I can get that watch back to him. He's been waiting for me to get done with this review so I can return it back to him and he can actually use it. But remember to subscribe if you like wearing smart wearables and if you want to see more tests like this. And comment below if you have any additional questions that I did not cover in this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.